So as many of you might know, last week I made a video about the champion Brand that is incredibly broken and that no one basically plays him. So in this new mid-season update, Brand just got buffed massively. Mainly because of the item Blackfire Torch. This item synergizes incredibly well with Brand's kit, and I'm going to be explaining you guys why that's the case. So Brand is through the roofs right now. If I don't see a nerf on this champion or on the item or in the interaction between these items real soon, this champ is gonna break solo queue. So first, small little example right here of why this is such an unbelievable item. We're gonna see right here, i.e. the Singed, and just look at his health bar. Where is his health bar going? It's gone. It's completely gone. And that's all my passive burn damage together with Blackfire Torch, Liandry's, and one Lee Sin Q. Thanks for the contribution, Lee. We appreciate it greatly. So we're going to be covering a few examples from this game right here. And I'm going to be explaining why this item is so unbelievably good on Brand. So first of all, what setup do we take? We take Ghost Flash. We take Ghost because Ghost is incredibly good on Brand because you're a character without any dashes. Very vulnerable. Ghost is going to allow you to reposition in team fights. Going to allow you to escape from ganks in which you otherwise are extremely vulnerable to. So Ghost, incredibly good summoner. You don't necessarily need TP because you have an incredible wave clear. Then as for runes, you go Comet because it synergizes really well with its damage over time passive. You go Scorch for extra lane domination. You could theoretically not run Mana Flow Band because you now also get the Blackfire Torch mana. So Mana Flow Band is not a necessity anymore. Maybe Nimbus Cloak is the way right now. But this is something I still need to play around with. Transcendence is incredible because Brand loves ability haste as well. Free boots because Brand is a 2-item spiking champion, so cashback is nice, but a 2-item spike is means that our boots give more value gold wise. And I think Cosmic Insight's really good because Brand loves his summoners. He loves to have uptime on those because it makes his team fighting much easier. And then we also take the ability haste shard in the runes right here. So let's take a look at the item build. In this specific game, you start with Faded Ashes. So this is the new mini Liandry's item for 900 gold. And this is crazy on a champion like Brand because this constantly procs off our passive. So having this means that if you land an ability, deal much more damage over time damage already whenever you hit an ability. So the synergy between that is already amazing. So the laning of Brand just became even stronger. Brand already had an incredibly strong early lane, but the laning now becomes even stronger. Then second item, the first completed item that you go is the Blackfire Torch. So why is Blackfire Torch so good? If we go over it, what happens, right? It's a burn effect. It's the same as Liandry's, but it's a flat burn effect, not percentage max health. But the beauty is that the Blackfire passive also grants him extra AP for each champion that he hits. A champion like Brand is going to hit every single enemy in the team fight. So that means 5 times 4%, because you get 4% for each champion that you hit, means 20% AP ability power increase. That's massive. Plus, the stats are just incredibly good. It's a very cheap item as well. So in this case, in this game, I got it at level of at minute 8. And the power spike that you get from it is incredibly wild. Then second item, I went Liandry's into Rylai's. You could theoretically swap this up as well. I just want to get more damage. And this 2-item spike is through the roofs, guys. This champion is nuts. So let's take a look at a laning example. And I'm going to be teaching you guys also how to play this champion. And especially with the new season coming in, this is your ticket to getting to your desired rank ASAP. I'm not a big promoter of free ELO LP strats, but this is one that you'll get from me, all right? So Brand's early lane. Main thing what you want to do is build slow pushes into the enemies. So try to get minion advantages and then contest the enemies onto when they're last hitting. So in this specific case, what I actually do is that this Aurelian Soul tries to last hit this creep. I step up aggressively, look for a W onto his last hit. And you can see already this W just already deals a lot of damage because Brand has very high base damages. And if you land your stuff, you're going to be winning a lot of trades. So once again, W on him standing still. That's constantly what I'm looking to do. And I'm just looking to play with small wins mindset, constantly trade onto this guy's HP bar, keep slow building onto him and pressure him with it. So I'm going to try to contest him onto his next creep right here. Beautiful W into E. And this is going to be your bread and butter trading combo, guys. W into E. You also max E on Brand because that's the most consistent damage form that you can get in the lane. This W into E combo, it's easy, no skill required, free damage into lane. We're going to see more examples of this later in this review right here. So W into E. And this shows already why Brand's such a strong laner and also doesn't need TP, because you just deal such an incredible amount of damage in the lane. So in this specific case, I just feel comfortable walking up towards Asol because of the fact that I already took so many good trades into him that I know that every bit of health that I trade more with him is going to be in my favor and is going to put the lane a little bit more in my advantage. So I try to go for a fancy E-flash out attack, but he still had a pot and was able to heal up. It is what it is, right? And in this specific case, I snipe him with the W and deny him a lot of creeps. Get away from Viego. Beautiful start to the lane. So sadly, I don't have 900 gold for my Faded Ashes, and I don't want to wait for it. So I'll just reset, come back to lane with the M-Tome refill, which is also great because I can just use this to basically start taking small wins trades into the Aurelion Sol. That's mainly what I try to do. So a quick little tip on Brand as well is if you're level 3, 1 point in E, what you can do is you can actually, with only an M-Tome and a Dorans, you can actually E the caster creeps and it will not die to the tower. So that's what I do right here. I E the caster creeps and with 1 point in E, I can just finish them all off nicely with my auto attack. So that's a very nice interaction. Keep that in mind, especially if you're early farming after the wave bounces back, if that ever happens to you. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow push into Aurelion Sol, and I'm going to try to, whenever he stands still, land my skill shots onto him. This is a very interesting matchup where I do not want Aurelion Sol to fly onto me on the long lane. That's the only way I'll lose trades into him. So it's good to use my Q reactively to be able to stun him in his flight. But I'm a very greedy player, and you'll also see me throw out my Qs in different ways. And that's when he's actually able to do this, trade a little bit back onto me. So I don't really mind it because I'm very comfortable in this lane, very comfortable in this champion. As you can see, I'm just slowly chipping away this guy's health bar, and he's just not winning the trades because of my strong setup and strong early game champion. Get some wards out, warding, leaning, and using your priority is very important on Brand because you're going to get a lot of priority, guys, when you play this champion. You got an incredible strong lane, so you're going to get a lot of priority. Use it well. And my main goal, once again, just try to harass this guy onto his last hits. That's really where I'm going to be getting the bulk of my damage. Feel free to step up aggressively. And in this specific case, I miss my Q, and that's why he is able to just fly after me right here. Once again, I'm a very greedy player. And it doesn't really matter too much because I'm messing him up too hard in the rest of the lane. And I'm constantly looking to try to get these W into E combos right here. That's what I'm looking to. W into E, because that's where the E is where the main damage comes from in these trades. It's extremely hard to respect. He needs to stand incredibly far behind the minions if he wants to be respecting that. The E is no skill required, free damage whenever you hit it. So, Lee Sin's hovering right here. I can go for a very nice max range W, get a decent chunk onto the Asol, and he's just slowly getting lower and lower and lower. And this is really where the unskilled part from Brand comes in, right? Is he thinks he's safe right here. He thinks he's safe. So I do a W into E, a W onto the creeps. The E then spreads onto the Aurelion Sol right here. And then I get my R and I ult onto the minions. And as you can see, it triple bounces and actually kills him on the back end. Like, this is crazy. It's really, really crazy. And he did not expect that. So the real broken part of Brand starts now when I get this Faded Ashes item. Because every single ability that I hit onto the Aurelion Sol right now is going to start burning him as well with the Liandry's effect. A little bit less strong, but still very effective. So you can already see, right, I just hit this W into E. Very unskilled, very long range ability. And it starts burning the Aurelion Sol for an insane amount of damage. Like, how much is this even? This is over 200 damage for an basically unskilled ability to hit. Which is incredible, of course. The best thing about this Blackfire Torch item, though, and the Faded Ashes, is that it helps you with your wave clear. Brand already was extremely good before, But the reason why he's completely broken right now is because of he gets more access to gold. Brand had a very awkward wave clearing pattern in which it was very hard to get all of the creeps from the minions while basically pushing waves. His wave clear wasn't too fast because you usually went Rylai's into Liandry's, and that meant that you didn't have that burn effect early on. So you lost access to a lot of creeps by just randomness. You just lost the creeps because your abilities didn't finish them off. With these two items, you get access to every creep because you get more burn damage, and your burn damage actually kills the creeps for you. Which means that you're going to average about 20 to possibly even 30, 40 more CS per game on Brand. Which means that you get more access to gold, more access to items. And we all know what Brand can do with items right now, especially like his 3-item spike on Rylai's, Liandry's, and this torch, Blackfire torch item. It's incredible. It's really incredible. So you can also go for Q into E combos right here. In this specific case, I think I'm slightly rushing my abilities. I'm limit testing a little bit in this particular game. I just want to show you guys a few examples of how much damage that this deals already at this point in the game right here. So I miss my Q. Aurelion Sol flies in. So I R, E, the R is bouncing. I land my Q. And I didn't know he was going to be so low. I was like literally caught off guard by how much damage I did right here. Otherwise, I would have been able to actually walk up and probably kill him. So really, really massive amounts of damage that you're just putting out. And what you realize was once you have this Faded Ashes item, is that the Blackfire Torch item is just incredibly cheap as well. Compared to a little bit of a Malignance, also incredibly cheap. This one's like 100 gold more expensive. And now with the Blackfire Torch, and now stuff really gets wild. As you can see, Aurelion Sol doesn't even have 50 CS. He's incredibly far behind. So let's just see how much damage it does. This is my Q ability. My Q itself doesn't deal much damage. I've not put many points into it. None at all. But this is mainly the Blackfire Torch and my passive damaging the Aurelion Sol here. And you can really see that this helps with your wave clear massively. The burn damage, it finishes off the creeps. What does it look like? Even with only an E? Yeah, so with only an E, you even get the caster creeps right now. If you max E, the caster creeps will just drop to only your E plus the Blackfire Torch. And that's never the case. You always use the W plus E the caster creeps. And right now, you can just W the cannon and the melees and just finish them off with your E and just hit everything at once and get all of the creeps. So the wave clearing pattern is just going out of control here. This is out of control wave clear. This is out of control damage. This champion is out of control. That's it really. Like I land this W. I sadly don't land the Q into E. Otherwise, this guy, I could probably just ult him on the long lane and he would probably just die again. Like, what we are looking... like, it's insane. I go for a limit test here, but look at this damage, right? What are we looking at here? This is out of control what we're looking at. So I'm completely disrespecting him here, of course, and I get punished for it. But this is a ridiculous play that I go for. But it does show how stupid this champion is right now. So I want to show just a few more instances of how much damage this champ does, right? And the way that you want to play the mid game on this champ is you want to shove a move, be first at objectives, let the enemies come into you, and basically play front to back team fights where you get your damage off. Because if you get your R plus E damage off, no one will be able to stop you. Let's take a look here. Aurelion Sol doesn't really die to me that much. You're incredibly good at taking objectives as well. Like your objective speed is insanity. Get a little team fight right here. Start with R into E, double spread. And look at this, right? Look at this trash. I R into E, so the E spreads and the R bounces twice onto him and he's just dead. He's just dead. What even happened here? He has Aftershock. Lee Sin doesn't damage him anymore. It's my R, it's my E, it's another R, plus my passive, plus my Blackfire Torch. Like, what are we looking at here? This is wild. Really wild. Okay. Yeah, right here. So just a little bit of 1v2 action right here. You can just see the amount of damage that you're dealing. And the crazy part is that your passive, right? If you hit your big passive, it constantly applies the rest of the Blackfire Torch as well. So the value is just immense here on this item. Let's take a look. We probably get a pretty decent pick here onto the Viego as well. Very nice kill. And the wave clear is immense. I now have my Liandry's plus Blackfire Torch. So right now I'm fully out of control at this point. So we dive the Aurelion Sol here. Pretty good stuff. Oh yeah, so right here I sit in for war, expecting the enemies to walk up. This is a high master, by the way. And these guys just walk up and they'll just die. I land my W, E, R, and it's not complicated, but they just drop. The amount of damage you deal, it's out of control completely. You're incredibly good at now also catching side own waves and just shoving it with the interaction between Blackfire Torch. And yeah, look, you get one pick and Baron drops within like a few seconds as well, right? Because of the stacking passive that you have between the items. It's completely out of control. So let's take a look at this final play right here that I want to show you guys. Is right here. Oh yeah, try to go for a Q flash into E. That's what I try to do here. Q flash into, I kind of fucked up mechanically. So what do I land onto Aesol? I land E, W, R. And it's not even close. Like, he doesn't even survive. It's not even close. He would have gotten annihilated even further. And it isn't like I'm hitting many skill shots. The only thing I hit is my W. That's the only skill shot I land. And he just drops. So this champion is out of control, guys. Pick it up. Check out my older video that I uploaded a week ago about Brand. It gives a little bit more context on the champion. Champ's completely out of control. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll definitely get back to you.